It'll send chills up your spine. Witness the horror, witness the terror.
It's the horrorcore clique, and we the chosen people, sacrificing animals and killing anything that we see as evil. Gotta harem like you wouldn't know. I'll even pick pharaohs up. Double A spits and drops down the walls of Jericho. Taking graves for MCs, cause when they battle rap me, they act like a two-star flow.
Picture demon pages with 22 gauges. Shit gets outrageous. Eating Gina Davis. Cannibal split pea is my name. Eating old actresses is my game. Devouring fame, it's my blame.
This time, it's war.
City of the living.
Yo, schemes of bitches fill the hall, seas of blood that paint the walls, creepy crawl, peeping dog, like a stalker from beyond, drawn you in a pond, play you like a pawn, first I slice you, then I sacrifice you to the gods, invade your village and rip all your broads.
Yo, morbid thoughts, cut your fucking head off and box it, I've lost it, my mind it is schizophrenic rapper like a drunken bitch, giggling and shit, shut up and suck a dick, sin what the deal, kid, we up in this clique, we out to make a fortune, from off these people that say, we out to kill the rap game, with this horrorcore shit, we out to make a motherfucker depressed, to slit his wrist, want some soup.
Sin to kill, grotesque. From the heartless world, the darkness where our fangs are filled with arsenic, and we shoot pornographic scenes with a celebrity's carcass. The closest to grotesque, want you suffer a slow death, so we can sleep at night instead of waking up in cold sweat. We're war vets that disconnected your cerebral cortex to send your brain into a different galactic vortex. Hopelessly recording the 4 in the morning ones are
Sin or seen apparitions. Broken bodies in my gardens, falling garbage bins. Call me Albert Fish, which is only one death wish. The Mexican Charles Bronson is putting knives in your wrist. The hands of the ripper sicker than Vikings and Smith for liquor. I'm throwing up on the table, then changing the channel clicker. This beat was made by Rick
Dylan, my mode is always killing, and my bonus is the stillin'. Gotta keep it reelin', chillin', slangin', krills and dillin'. Bend your fucking mind like I do to break a billin'. The message I'm instilling is my evil is distilling.
And there you have it, folks. An army of rappers. So I got in contact with all these motherfuckers off of MySpace. That last one you heard, he found my page, and he's from Pennsylvania, and he like, you know, told everyone about it. Said this dude does some like industrial cyborg murderous, you know, kind of rap, and all these guys liked my shit, and we jumped on it, and we cut a whole bunch of songs. I probably did more songs on mixtapes than I even did on my own shit. I pumped out songs. All these guys had mixtapes, and I just fucking they sent me beats. They'd have a verse on, and there'd be a blank verse. I'd shred that blank verse, send it back, and there you go, a fucking song. And so we were like, it's like rapping pen pals almost with MySpace, man. We were like, there's someone from California, from the UK, from all over the place, dude from Australia that I would rap with. So, Double A, the story of Double A is a pretty intense one. This for me, this was like a partially successful musical endeavor, because I played a lot of shows. I don't even know how many. There was a point when I was doing like fucking 3 shows a month. I opened up for Cannabis, ABK, a whole bunch of people I don't know that are supposedly popular. So, we, as Deleted Souls, we hosted a rave. That was interesting. Excuse me. And that's really what happened. So on the previous episode, we ended off where the hip hop began, we ended it. I wanted to do it all in one episode, my entire musical career, but towards the end there, I'm like, the second portion of Double A is gonna be a lot of material. And so the last episode we left off with the beginning where I was trying to find my voice, find my flow, find out how to, record and all this. And I hung out in Wellsville with Jim and Rick, and we figured all this out. We put out an album, and then I put out a little EP on the side during the same time. And so we had Deleted Souls, the Knowledge album, which was me, Rick, and Jim, three of us. And then basically while doing that, I would just sneak over in the room and I put out a 4-song EP of solo shit called Waiting. The title track on it is called Waiting, and it's a pretty good song. And then after that, I'm just recapping from the last episode. Then after that, I went to Marietta to the shanty and recorded an album called Dead Man Walking. And then so about this time, I've done a little bit of this and that lyrically, and I decide I kind of move towards a direction of like what I would say like slasher flick rap or horrorcore as we called it. And I kind of moved to this more extreme style. I love slasher flicks. Late 70s, early 80s. I love that shit. I always watched those type of movies growing up. Lucio Fulci, Dario Argento, um, John Carpenter, all these good movie directors, all these just shit movies that are exploitation flicks. I don't know who directed them. They're just weird. I've always been into this stuff, so I kind of I found this dude Cynical, and he would he would rhyme about that stuff, and so I thought that was cool, and me and him did a lot of fucking songs together. I appeared on like a bunch of his mixtapes, and we did so many songs together. We could have formed it into an album, and we never did because we were just doing a whole bunch of other stuff. so so then here we are. Me and Skeet Rez, me and Jim, we wanted to do another Deleted Souls album. The two of us. And we upped the ante on this album. It was called Visions of a Dark Army. And we had featured a lot of these types of rappers that I was playing in the intro and that I've been talking about. And so we kind of started to have like a clique going on, like a scene, man. And that to me was fun. It was just amazing sending these recordings back and forth, doing shit with Grimy J, with Nero, with Cynical, all these Monster, Split P, all these characters, man. And Natus Live, and then Nightbreed made my favorite beats. We had our people that made us beats and stuff, and Nightbreed was the best. I really enjoyed Nightbreed, and there's a song I did. It's one of my, if I had hits, like I didn't have like a lot of fans or anything. I just, other rappers liked me. I really didn't have a whole lot of fans, but if I had a hit, it would be this one. This is Nightbreed did the beat, And then this is Human Sacrifice. And really, this song just kind of flowed out of me. And it's one of my favorite ones.
Mechanical cyborg, limping like a zombie, pimping like a Fonzie. Bitches hanging on me, leaving bodies behind like a tsunami. Can't handle the norm, cause my brain's more bizarre than anime porn. Don't stand in my way, whore. Yeah, I'm staying hardcore, a lyrical war zone. More violent than a mosh pit at a gore show. More grotesque than a G.G. Allen shit fest. You're on my hit list, and get this. Got my cock between a pair of witches' tits. Rocking steel toes and work pants, sagging low, body bagging hose. It's your first chance to catch Nightbreed, tagging double anarchy signs, suffocating all light beams, damaging your mind. Ain't down with that new fag fashion shit. Twitching at the grocery store, buying a bag of chips, looking rough like I've been working in the coal mines. Put a bullet in your head just to watch your soul fly. Enter the circle, your fate's not merciful. Radio bandits, leaving ghost blood on a canvas, slashing, cutting, dicing, slaying, killing fans and shit. Enter the circle, your fate's not merciful. Radio bandits, leaving ghost blood on a canvas, slashing, cutting, dicing, slaying, killing fans and shit. Stab your ball joint with a ballpoint, killing all joy like a lost boy, chugging a tall boy. Never been blessed with visions of hope, but if I wanted to quit on myself, I'd be sniffing some coke. Your bitch is a joke, my fits at your dome. Broken bones, provoking broken homes, choking throats, pack bodies in foam, emotionless tone. I ain't no hoe, sipping coke and SoCo, repping my boys testosterone, so stare you down with hostile eyes, leave your bitch ass fossilized, watching somebody dies, my colossal prize. What about a shank and slash you twice, cause you're my human sacrifice. I drink blood in the moonlight, I'ma soon fight anyone that never gave me a chance, that made me a man. I'ma bury your corpse beneath Arabian sand. Living dead girl, please save me a dance. Enter the circle, your fate's not merciful. Radio bandits, leaving ghost blood on a canvas, slashing, cutting, dicing, slaying, killing fans and shit. Enter the circle, your fate's not merciful. Radio bandits, leaving ghost blood on a canvas, slashing, cutting, dicing, slaying, killing fans and shit.
So there you have it, Human Sacrifice. Pretty good song. One of my first songs here moving forward. So at this point in time, me and Skeet Rez, we decided to make this Visions of a Dark Army Deleted Souls album. It was, in my opinion, the best Deleted Souls album. And we had a lot of fun making it hitting the studio, which is a USB mic in my room. You know, like I said on the last episode, no money involved in any of this music. Except maybe the fucking $80 I spent on the USB mic. I used Audacity, which is free. I'm using Audacity right now to do this. And so we did that, and actually Jim, or Skeet Rez, he actually did a good portion of the beats for that album. And then we had some of these people like Nightbreed doing some of the beats. And so this album, we made it, and then we found different ways. We knew different types of people that would, what's his name, Schizo or something like that. He does promotions and raves, and I don't know, just like weird shows he puts together and stuff. There's people, you know, he's one of those people, organizes shows, makes the flyer, sets up the groups, the event. And so we were just talking to him. I think he was at someone's house or some shit that we were at. And he's like, well, to be honest with you guys, I need someone to host this rave at Club Excess. When what it was is it was a bunch of dubstep and things like that. But we were to host this, so we played first for like 15 minutes as the icebreaker, like the first group that goes up. And we did pretty good. There was a lot of people there. We had a lot of our people there cheering for us, and it was like a legitimate show. The only issue is we were singing about like murder and death and destruction, and it was a rave. So God knows these people might have been on ecstasy. That might be the last thing they feel like hearing. They're in their all lovey dovey mode, partying like, oh, I love the whole world, man. Oh, yes, blah, 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 blah. And we're up there singing about slashing people up and shit. So it was a weird vibe, I guess. And Schizo had actually talked to us about that. He was like, yeah, it was kind of maybe I should have found like a better show that would suit you guys. But we still did good. We had like the flyers for it, and it had a little picture of us in the corner, Deleted Souls, presenting I think it was called Bury the Hatchet, the show. And I'm not sure why, because when I hear something about a hatchet, it reminds me of like ICP and Juggalo shit, which I'm not really a big fan of. Um, Skeet Rez likes that shit. That's his thing. I did when there was a point when I liked the Riddle Box album or whatever, but I'm not big on them guys. I actually my first hip hop that I was into was Public Enemy because of the Anthrax album that features Public Enemy. That's how I heard of the band or of the group, off of Anthrax. So that was interesting to me. I had got one of their albums, and then I heard about Gravediggers, which Gravediggers Dig Us is like I didn't know it at the time when I listened to it. I didn't know anything about rap. I was younger. You know what I mean? I'm a metalhead. Thrash metal, death metal, hardcore, punk rock. I like that kind of stuff, and I always have in high school and everything like that. But I did like Gravediggers and Public Enemy, and so Gravediggers coined the term horrorcore, which is what we were called basically, and we started using the term. Like people called us horrorcore rap, and so we adopted that. I mean, and went with it, and it's like Judas Priest. Man, they were like the first band to call themselves heavy metal, to actually embrace that term. And they went with it. And so it was kind of, well, we weren't the first people called horrorcore, but it was kind of like that deal. Like, oh, you're giving us this name of this style. And that's kind of cool, man. We'll be that. And heavy metal, by the way, what's that song? Heavy Metal Thunder. That's where the term comes from. That's just a fun fact. That's where that song is where they found the term heavy metal. And so I liked Gravediggers, I liked Public Enemy, and then I got into some other stuff, man. I liked like Necro, I liked Cannabis, Jedi Mind Tricks, obviously Wu Tang and stuff. And then I started finding these other dudes like Sean Price, R.A. the Rugged Man, all these other dudes, and that's kind of the smut peddlers. Uh, yeah, a lot of these groups I started to find them and get into them, much like I did with rock music, grunge, like all the types of shit I said, metal and stuff. I branched off into that stuff and lost myself. Kid in a candy store. I couldn't fucking, like I said, I could list bands on here and do like an 8 hour fucking episode. Just like I don't know, I would still wouldn't run out of bands, man. And so I started doing that with rap, just sinking my teeth into it, you know. And then I finally I figured out that Big Pun probably influenced like all the rappers that I was into, because when I started listening to him, I'm like, oh, that's where this shit comes from, and you know, stuff like that. And so me and Skeet Rez we're rocking on the we're gliding on the Visions of a Dark Army album. We did a lot of shows. We went to Allentown, to the Croc Rock. You know, we went to Club Excess, and so Club Excess was like this gay bar, but it wasn't always gay. Like they would do other events, and so that's like we were kind of there for that. But we brought all our DHC homie motherfuckers from Dover Head Crew. Every fucking one of them got kicked out of the show. Every one of them. Not a single person we brought remained. Because the DHC are hardcore motherfuckers, man. Whether they were just walking behind and taking 6 packs of beer right out of the fucking cooler at the bar. Or like one dude just walked right up on stage and took the mic. And it was like, yeah, you got to go now, and you got to go. You're asleep at the bar. You got to go. This and that. And like I said, it was like a gay bar. So a lot of the people that worked there were gay. And I think like one of the people that we brought up started calling someone, one of them started calling them fucking carpet munchers and shit like that. And he got thrown out. We all got thrown out for, not me, because I was on stage and shit doing the hosting thing, but everyone got fucking thrown out. Kind of proud of that moment. You know, you just can't, you know. But yeah, so we did a lot of that stuff, a lot of shows. We had a fucking great time, and it just got towards a point where we kind of started going off and doing different things, and I wanted to do some solo shit. But I mean, so I wanted to do some solo shit, and the Visions of a Dark Army was like a template of the style that I was really getting into. That album formed itself in an amazing way when we first put it out. There were a couple of songs I think weren't the best, and so the second issue of Visions of a Dark Army was kind of extracted. So, and then we had done some other songs during the time, and so those got added. One with Grimy J. First time, it was about the first time you kill someone, and it was like all emotional sounding and shit. Like the first time, you know, we all gave our little stories, you know, and it was a cool idea, and I liked the song. We did a song called Back Up that wasn't really originally on Visions of a Dark Army, and that song was cool. You know, a little misogynistic at some parts, but overall a cool song. And then we did All Right, which is like a reminiscing about our childhood, a really different type of song for us to do. And that was a fun little piece, acoustic guitar in it, singing about when we were kids and shit. And those 3 songs got added to Visions of a Dark Army. Very good songs, and took out the one freestyle song. It was a little ridiculous. And that was Visions of a Dark Army. All our friends still to this day listen to that album, and they like it a lot. Like I said, there weren't really fans so much. You know, there was to a small degree, but it was a lot of it was like our friends listening to the shit and other rappers listening to the shit. And that's, to me, that's like almost like a compliment, because it's like other musicians, like if you're in a rock band and a lot of other bands really like you and derive some kind of influence, that to me is the best ever. Like there's no, I always think music is better with no money involved, and with just like, you know what I mean, like promoting. This is the biggest problem I had, is once I really started to put all this effort and time into doing this, it became apparent that I would have to promote Double A, the the rapper. I would have to promote the image, and I would have to promote the shows and the albums and this and that and the other thing, and it got so stressful, and I felt like a fucking car salesman. Promoting stuff is, to me, it doesn't feel right, and I feel fake as shit doing it, and so I was horrible at marketing. You know, maybe I would have had fans. I don't fucking know. You know, there's a lot of rappers. It's a very saturated market. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you throw a fucking rock, you're gonna hit 10 rappers on the head. So that was also a thing. And but when we do these shows at the Croc Rock and stuff, and it was like the punk scene and shit, and the hardcore scene and stuff like that. We'd meet other groups there, and we'd know all these local groups that we could do shows with. Pretty cool, man. I wanted to fucking open up for like a metal band, just for shits and giggles. I think it'd be good, a good fit. You know, we're not rapping about fucking whatever other rappers rap about. I thought that would be fun. It never happened. But anyways, so a lot of fucking good times, a lot of partying, a lot of joking around, getting people to fucking say weird shit on the beat that were just our friends and stuff, and everything like that. And so that was Visions of a Dark Army, and I really like it. And so moving right along, as Bill Burr would say, plowing straight ahead. We I kind of did a solo album modeled after the Visions of the Dark Army. It's like it has that sound, it has that structure, it has that setup. And I did an album called Walk Away Bleeding. And now the on the previous episode, I had talked about I was in a hardcore band called Letter of Mark, and one of the songs that we did was called Walk Away Bleeding, and so I designed like this whole album after that concept of that one song, and I called the album Walk Away Bleeding, and at the very last track I threw that damn Letter of Mark hardcore song right at the end, and like chopped it up and threw beats on top of it and started rapping on it and flipping it around and this and that and the other thing. It was pretty cool. That's the shit I like to do, you know, like editing and chopping up music and, you know, stuff like that. So Walk Away Bleeding, man. That was a big one for me. That was like the album. So much attention. So many people when it first came out were like, "Oh my god, you know, this is fucking amazing, man." I got a bunch of new beats to rap over because of the album, which is fun. That was my favorite part, is just people sending me beats. Sometimes we'd send them around and get like fucking 8 rappers over this shit. No chorus, just blah, 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 blah. 8 motherfuckers rapping. Bam, it's over. And sometimes we'd have so many rappers on the fucking track, the song would be like 8 minutes long. And so this was like not radio shit. I mean, even by design of the structure, obviously the lyrically, it's not radio shit. I almost like feel some kind of way about it. This was like 10 years ago. And there was, when I reorganized all the shit, I found like 2 songs that were too much. I was like, damn, I said all that. That was a little over the top. But I think the point I was trying to make is to see how fucking crazy and violent and shit I could get. And I don't know whether that was a popular decision, that was the direction I wanted to go. And it was hard for like me because, you know, when you do something and accomplish something and are good at something, you want to tell everybody, you want to tell your family and this and that. And it's like I'm singing about doing drugs and murder and fucking bitches, and it's just, it was like it wasn't the thing where I was gonna give it to my parents and they probably would be like, oh, you're good at this and everything, but they wouldn't be able to listen to it, man. It's just, it was a lot. It was over the top. And if I was to do it again, fuck that. If I'm gonna do more of it sometime, I might tone that down. I'm older now anyways. But I would like it to be a little more classy, a little well-rounded. But this shit I did back then was fucking insane. And it is what it is. And it fucking kicked ass. And so that's really the story here. And I'm gonna play a track off of Walk Away Bleeding.
Leatherface chainsaw, rip your face off, hack your face like a basket case on crack and haze, been at it for days. Stretch the skin like elastic, puffin', hash it, slash it, stash it in a casket. Habits like these make faggots bleed. From CA to VA, A and Sin, wanna leave your body at the days in, son. Crush your ribcage, butchered like a knock, stuffed in a box. On top of my cock is a Glock, blow out your back for real. Texas chainsaw torture methods got you whacked out, I wanna hear you squeal. Rocking your boyfriend's face as a mask, I wanna hear you gas. No oxygen getting through your esophagus, I'm loving this like some cannibalistic McDonald's shit. The darkness marches through your carcass while I'm on the lid. Rip out your tonsils, bitch, it's the apocalypse. You and your bitch ass whack rappers kicking on top of this. C-double-A and Cynic kill, spit napalm and wreck lines. But now you're fucking with chainsaws and chef knives.
It's a massacre, you're on the guest list. It's a Halloween night in Texas. Leave them suffocating with a red wine necklace. Chainsaws and chef knives asking questions. It's a massacre, you're on the guest list. It's a Halloween night in Texas. Leave them suffocating with a red wine necklace. Chainsaws and chef knives asking questions.
My blade in the dark will make you scream in the park. I'm the midnight stalker hiding bodies in tarps. I'm never taking my mask off. A wrinkly matlock, the hat and field mascot, hacking your ass off. And it kills the fucking greatest since the days of Stone Ages. When I'm shocking on the mic, I'm spreading AIDS like wrinkled gators. Discretion is what you're wishing for my daily nutrition. I'm eating the Chinese granny in Jeffrey Dahmer's Hell's Kitchen. Mr. Myers retires in the hot earth, some miners. Solar systems ignite when I throw balls of fire. Jamie Lee Curtis heard this, then she guzzled her thermos. Michael motorcycles burning her epidermis. Babysitters get littered like the trash in the river. Mystic linguistic killer is double A in a sinner. Fuck you, slut, eat your dinner. Reconsider the critter, cause my inclining chef knife will have to remove your gizzard.
It's a massacre, you're on the guest list. It's a Halloween night in Texas. Leave them suffocating with a red wine necklace. Chainsaws and chef knives asking questions. It's a massacre, you're on the guest list. It's a Halloween night in Texas. Leave them suffocating with a red wine necklace. Chainsaws and chef knives asking questions.
You're with your foster families.
What makes you think they got wrong, man?
Body. In the autopsy photos. Had 2 arms. He only had 1.
Can you repeat that?
So that was Chainsaws and Chef Knives, and Nightbreed did that beat too. I didn't get that many beats from him. The rumor was that he died, and I really don't know if that's true or not. That's what they were basically saying. And there was just as many people that made beats, slanging beats around, as there was rappers to rap on them. So that was cool. But this was Chainsaws and Chef Knives, and this was Double A featuring Cynikill. And the concept of the song, basically, I was Leatherface and he was Michael Myers. And we took those characters on, those roles, and went at it. And so we called it Chainsaws and Chef Knives, man. And that was a really good track. One of the better ones I did with Cynikill. I remember the first track I ever did with him was called Devil's Cult. And I did not understand this concept. He email or MySpace mailed or whatever the fuck this beat to me, and it was just blank beat, and he told me to do the verse and then to do the chorus, kind of the setup of the song I just played. I did the first verse and then I did the hook. We call it a hook. And that was weird because I had never done that before. I was so excited, like a little kid. Someone sent me a song, man. Holy shit. I better make it a good verse. I better make it a good one. And I did. I sung about like rolling joints with Bible papers and all kinds of fucked up shit. And so there was Split P, which was actually Cynikill's dad. I think he told me once when he was drunk or something, and he said, "Don't tell anyone." I don't know what the deal was, but everyone knew eventually. And then they had a group together called Skin Poppers. I think he was just trying to keep some appearance for the group in a different way. But yeah, it's Split P, man. He passed. So rest in peace, Split P. But this was like, he was like 60 something, and I don't want to speak on something I really don't know about, but I'm pretty sure he was like doing meth and shit, like 60-year-old dude dancing. He had this dance he would do and this fucking laugh. He sounded like a hyena. And I always called him the G.G. Allen of hip hop, because just he was this extremely animated, crazy character, and he just seemed totally punk rock to me. I don't know why, but yeah. And later on, I would do an album with him. I don't know if we're there yet. I'm trying to do this chronologically, and it's almost like I should have wrote the shit down because my brain don't work that way. I'm trying to fit everything into my head and figure out what to talk about next. So I put out Walk Away Bleeding, and then I did like a whole army of fucking songs that I never organized. And I just had songs everywhere on different albums, different mixtapes, just sitting in folders, never put it together. Probably the worst. Like all I wanted to do was spit out the verse. All I wanted to do was rhyme, and then when it came to the all the other things, I didn't really care. Like I said, for the music, man, it's for the music. So so when it came to like getting the name out there and trying to like fucking promote shit, I just basically didn't do that. You know, I had a girlfriend at the time. I had other stuff going on, lots of me and her and some of my other friends and their girlfriends. We would all get together and have parties and shit. And I was doing a lot of stuff in my personal life that was pretty wild too. So it was like it wasn't the main focus of my life. Wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna get the name out there, double A, man. And it's like I know what it's like when you're that guy and like some rapper hits you up on the internet and tells you to check out their shit. It's like you feel like, okay, buddy, how about not messaging me again? Because I don't give a fuck about your stupid little raps. And I know that's how people feel when you try to promote the shit. And so there's people that are good at promoting shit and they know how to do it and they know how to not come across that way. Like I said, I felt like a car salesman. Do you want to hear my CD? It's called Walk Away Bleeding. And then it's like who so I guess when you do this type of thing, you need to have a specific audience in mind. Like you need to go where you're wanted. And that kind of stuff was just too time consuming for me. Putting together events and doing all that. I just tagged along when other people had events and maybe they needed an extra artist or something like that to perform. And I'd go up there and destroy shit. I was a little wild on the stage. Um, I had to kind of keep it together though. I had a lot of lyrics to remember, and when I did shows, like some rappers will have um, like little helpers mixed in with their beats, maybe even ad libs, and it's like you're performing live, man. You're not practicing at home in front of the mic to record and shit, stop and start. And I did a lot of stop start style. I don't know what the fuck they call that, but with my raps, I did a lot of that. I try to keep the energy up because if you don't stop and start, you're basically, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but you can rap the whole verse in one take and then stop recording, but you're gonna sound like you're trying to catch your breath. You might not hit man, what is that called when you flow with the beat and your voice hits the rhyme right on the pop and shit. Like there's a word for that, but that's hard to do when you're just trying to do. So I never did that. I would do like a couple stanzas, a couple rhymes, and then I'd stop it and then I'd start back up and hit it with more energy. That's how I recorded. I don't remember what the fuck I was going to talk about. So there's there's this guy, Pig Sticker the G was his alias, and that was a wild guy. I mean, he first noticed me. I had a verse. Oh, let me think of how it went. Something like, you better back off, ho, don't even try to start shit. I need more smack and blow to operate than a Nintendo cartridge. It was something like that, and he thought that was fucking hilarious. And so he wanted to do a track, and we did a track together, and then we did another one, and then we did like 5 of them and shit. Like I said, I was just fucking, I was rapping constantly. I was a rapping machine, and half the songs I did, I don't even have in my possession. But so we did a couple songs like that, and we had some fun, and he lived nearby, so we hung out here and there. And because of the hanging out here and there, I got to find out how fucking crazy this guy is. It was a good kind of crazy. It wasn't like, he wasn't licking stamps or something fucking dumb. But I remember we were at the West York Inn, and we're meeting up to talk about doing a show as a pair. And so this is another group that I had. I had Deleted Souls. I had this straight up solo shit, double A. Me and Cynical were gonna try to collect all those songs and put it out and call it Devil's Cult. That actually just never happened. I think because he was fucking busy. Like, he was crunching out albums every couple months. The guy was insane. And he had his hands in everything. He knew every fucking rapper that existed. Cynical was like the center point of this whole organization, of this whole group of people. Like, we had a clique, man. And so Pig Sticker the G, we decided to start because we did some shows. He knew a promoter that did shit for the Croc Rock in Allentown, and so he got me in on a bunch of shows. And like the first one, I was his hype man, just because he was like, he got a lot of shows that he could do. And he's just hit me up last minute. He had an album called G is for God. And he sent me that album, and he's like, do you want to be my hype man on this album? I'm going to do a show. And I'm like, well, when are you doing this? He's like, tomorrow. And I'm like, well, I got to listen to this album and memorize all your lyrics. I can do that tonight. And I did that. And then, like I said, we had done a couple songs together. So I think like 2 of the songs I did a verse because I was, but it was mostly his material, his solo material. G is for God by Pig Sticker the G. And that was interesting. We were up on stage. We were pretty intimidating. This guy was fucking more crazy than me. I mean, on stage, as a individual as well, but as a performer, man, he was fucking nuts. He would like get into fights with people before going on, so they didn't realize who he was. And then this asshole gets on stage, and they're like, "Oh, fuck that guy, man. I was gonna ask them to throw him out." Shit like that. Me and him would get so drunk before we'd go on stage, and it was very entertaining. There was at one point where he moved into a farm and had goats and stuff like that. Like, super, like, not what you would think your average rapper would do. And then when we'd go to the bar, he would just, I guess you had to be there type of deal, because I don't know how to explain it. But this guy was a little bit out there, and he had a son, a little son. I don't know how old the kid was, maybe 8. I don't know, but the kid had a rap name, Razor Blaze. So the kid had a rapper name, and this kid loved like horrorcore rap, is like 8 years old. And he actually did we did a show that he was on stage with us. It was like he was in the fucking show. He was like, you know, rap groups have like those people that don't do shit and they're just on stage for some reason walking around. He was that. And it was a little weird for me. You know, I'm like, that's not my kid. So I guess it's all cool if that's cool in his family and shit that they have this kid. But then we did a song as Organ Extractions. That was our group name, Organ Extractions. And but we did a song, man, and Razor Blaze is in the very beginning of the song, and he says something like, I don't know, but at the end of it he's like, motherfuckers. It's like a fucking 8-year-old kid saying motherfucker on the beginning of the song. And so when that takes place, you know you got some fucking hardcore violent motherfuckers recording some music, and you start to wonder how real that these motherfuckers are. Because we didn't get along with a lot of the local rappers. We thought they were fucking pussies. And you know, maybe just not saying it was a good attitude to have, but we had that kind of attitude. Belligerent, you know. Well, Organ Extractions, man, we had bought all these, like at a Halloween store. We bought all these fucking organs they had there, like rubber organs. They almost felt like a doggy toy or something when you squeeze them. And we were on stage and we just threw those at everybody. We just threw organs on them, and that was cool. And he would say some craziness in between songs, and we did that, man. And like my girlfriend didn't like the guy, and you know like I got a bad vibe from the guy, but I enjoyed the craziness. Like in my life, there's a lot of people that I enjoy chilling with that are like that most people are like trying to, you know, he's an asshole, or it's like, yeah, but it is what it is. And I know a lot of assholes that I like to chill with, you know, 'cause they're fucking aggressive, crazy people when we go get into some shit. When we'd go to hardcore shows and shit, man, we used to get wild in there. All the illegal shit we had going on, you know, at the show. Not going to get into that, but let's just say we got fucked up. And then went into a hardcore show with a bunch of straight edge people that were a little healthier and had a lot of fucking energy and went to the gym and shit. So that was a thing. And so me and Pig Sticker the G did Organ Extractions, and I'm gonna play a song by Organ Extractions, man. And this song is called Organ Extractions, actually. And so here it is, man. This is some really fucking gruesome, wild shit, man.
This your latest horror attraction. These organ extractions, this morbid reaction. A 44 make your back spin. I've had it, I'm ravenous, rabid, avidly active and slashing casualties, gradually stacking, stabbing between taking, cracking. Plastic imagined, you cannot fathom my actions. I'm blasted, righteous with vice prints and ice picks, also nice
setter, and you better in this Sudafed's my medicine. These pills screaming let us in. You find me drug peddling, puncture wound massacre, white pony passenger. My passion is to hurt, murder the pastor of your church. Yeah.
So there you have it, man. Organ extractions. Double A, pig sticker, the G. So at this point, I've got, I was on Deleted Souls, The Knowledge. I did Waiting, EP. I did Dead Man Walking. And then I did Deleted Souls, Visions of a Dark Army. And then I did solo album Walk Away Bleeding. So then I did Organ Extractions. You know, and that was like the most violent one. It was like almost like you know, it's almost like Cannibal Holocaust. That movie, it was just like fucked up for the sake of being fucked up, basically. And it was a lot of like eating organs and shit. That's why I say that movie, like cannibalism and shit. And that was that group, man. And so, as you can probably guess, that didn't last long because of the craziness, the fucking. That guy was a little bit out there, man. He was like one of those dudes. He wouldn't wait after he gets his beer. He'd be chugging it in the car on the way home. Doesn't care what the fuck's going on. You know, does what he wants. I remember when we'd go to the shows, he'd open his trunk and just start drinking beers in the parking lot, walking around. Security guard's right there. He's drinking a beer. I'm like, dude, you're just fucking making this day difficult, man. Like, but there's those type of people. They just do what they do. And, you know, fuck it if someone catches them or whatever. Just fucking do it right out in the open. And yeah, and we'd smoke blunts right there where people are in line to fucking get into the show. Just like, you know, I did that at a hardcore festival once, Tsunami Fest, and it wasn't my blunt, but it went around a circle of people. Fucking Zach in the middle of there somewhere. Maybe Doug. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, like they're passing this thing around. One of the guys that works there walks up. It got passed to me, and then they all just scattered like roaches. And I'm sitting there puffing a blunt right where they're walking in to the show. And the guy's like, he just looks at me and he's like, dude, come on, not here, man. Just not here, man. Just take a walk. So at least he didn't get like, you know, throwing a book at me type shit. At least he didn't do one of those. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the premises and you're not allowed to watch the show. At least he didn't do that shit, you know. Fucking Tsunami Fest, man. So we got pig sticker, we got organ extractions. And then so what's next, man? What did I do next? It's a lot of fucking shit I did. I think it was it wasn't solo, it was another group. So Split P, Cynakill's dad, the G.G. Allen of hip hop. I started doing some songs with him, and we put out an album. My alias is Double A, and his is Split P. So we called the group AVP. You know, like Alien versus Predator. And that was kind of the theme. The album cover had like a battery, like sitting in like a bowl of split pea soup. Weird, it was a weird album cover. It looked like it would be like the cover for like a Weezer album or some shit, REM or something like that. It looked like one of those style covers. And so we did that, me and Split Pea, and that was pretty cool. Cynical got in on one of the songs. Skeet Rez got in on one of the songs. And Nero got in on one of the songs. That's about the only people that were featured on it. And so that was cool. It was like the horror movie songs we did on there. Like we did like the Monster Mash. Oh no, what the fuck was that movie? Monster Party? The one with like it looks like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the way it's stop go animation. Monster whatever. We like did a song about that movie and songs about older movies like Universal Studios style. Frankenstein and that type of shit. So this was a pretty good album we put out. AVP, Double A and Split P, the Split EP. And so I enjoyed that. He was fucking cool guy. Wish he was still around. And so that was fun. It was like a huge age gap. And, you know, this dude was like fucking 60 something. I wasn't like, I'm 37, but this was like fucking 10 years ago when I did this shit. So I would have been like fucking 27, 26, something like that. So there was an age gap, and that was pretty cool. I like coming from different angles, man. I like talking to people that come from different backgrounds. Everyone has their own little thing to say, and you're just like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't think of it like that. And you know, everyone has that thing. Like there's certain people that are like gurus. When you do something stupid, they're like, well, hey, did you realize this? Or blah, blah, blah. And you're like, fuck, man, got me. They got me, you know. Wise people, I guess I'm trying to say. And then there's people, just all different personalities, man. And it's like, you know, I was at the bar. It's mostly at the bar that you really talk to a lot of different people like that. And they have different fucking ideas. And in a setting like that, people are more accepting of other ideas and stuff like that. I enjoy it. I like the bar. You got like the old people talking about their jobs. You know, I install vinyl siding. And it's like, oh, all right, well, how do you do that? How does it work? You know, and they'll tell you. You know what I mean? And then there'll be like some girl next to you playing shitty ass music. And you're like, well, what is this? And she'll tell you what the fucking groups are. Or whatever. And then talk about something else, hopefully. But I enjoy that type of shit. So we did AVP. So I kind of branched off into some groups. I did Organ Extractions. I did AVP. And then I did Night Stalkers. Night Stalker was with Monsta. Monsta is like an Australian guy. And real cool guy. He's from Australia. And got some fucking killer rhymes, man. That guy's pretty fucking talented at hip hop. You know, I think he's fucking like a wrestling fan or something. Yeah, he would wear that mask that Mexican wrestlers wear, and shit like that. And Monster was pretty cool, and so it was me and him was Night Stalkers, and it was Natus Live originally was supposed to do it, and then he didn't want to, or he had other priorities or whatever the fuck. Maybe he was just like, fuck that. Or whatever. Maybe he was like, oh, I wish I could have done that, but this was going on. Who the fuck knows? Natus Live, though, was one of my favorites in that little clique. Dude was fucking a beast on the mic. And then so, Night Stalkers, yeah. So we did that, and a lot of the songs were like metal, like beat. They're like hip hop beats, but they had like a metal sound, like a crunchy guitar sound under the beat. And so we did a lot of that. And so there's 3 fucking groups I branched off of. Did the Deleted Souls Visions of a Dark Army, and then kind of mimicked that style for my solo album and took it a little farther. You know, had a lot of fun with it. And then, bam, you know, fucking Organ Extractions, AVP, Night Stalkers, all these groups. And so that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing the music with people. You know, that's why I loved doing all the mixtape shit. That was actually my favorite part of this whole thing. And half those songs I don't even have, you know. But, so what comes next, man? We went through all them groups. I did some solo shit. My solo shit so far is Waiting, Dead Man Walking, and Walk Away Bleeding. It's the only solo shit I got yet. And I groups is fucking like Deleted Souls, Organ Extractions, AVP, Night Stalkers. 4 groups, and then solo shit. So I found a niche, and I found a thing that I'm good at, and it was real exciting for me, because anytime I've ever done music, it was a thrill and a rush, and as soon as it got to a point where you could start maybe getting your shit together, it just ended, like every time. So this was something that progressed and got better and better. And I really fucking enjoyed that. So during the time of all these groups, I was just making up songs at the house. And I made a lot of them, man. And they just didn't sound like they fit together. And they didn't seem like they belonged anywhere. Like there'd be a group of songs I'd do, like 3 or 4, and they had this particular sound quality, like recording wise. And then I'd hold off, and then later I'd pump out a couple more songs, and they had a certain quality to them. So when you take all the songs, you know what I mean, and try to put them together, some are going to be like a little quieter, and some going to have like a little different effect on the vocals, because I wasn't being careful and shit. Like later I developed a recipe like for the special effects and shit, so it'd always be the same. And I wasn't doing that at this time. It was just like bullshitting, and all my songs were like rough drafts, kind of like when you're trying to draw, and you're like, no, that sucks, and you just crumple up the paper and throw it out. That was kind of doing that. And so I just took all these fucking songs, and I didn't know what to do with them, and I made an album called Fake Gods, and that was like a B-sides thing. But I wouldn't say that like this is B-sides, because it's almost like you're kicking yourself in the face. It's almost like this isn't as good. No, I acted like it was fucking just the same shit. It was good. It was good, by the way. But I treated it like a straight up new album, and it was pretty badass. I didn't think it flowed as good as it should, quality wise, but that's something that probably I hear more than other people. And people liked that one. The song Fake Gods was about the criticism. I had gotten criticism from a couple other rappers, and it wasn't very clear. It wasn't very clearly defined. And it was basically the gist of it, what I was getting, and it's constructive criticism actually, but it wasn't presented in that kind of manner. But it was basically the slow down a little bit and get more on beat. Snap with that snare, man, because I was kind of doing a little bit of speed. I was trying to get my speed down more. And in doing so, I wasn't keeping up with the beat. And you've heard this before in some rappers. They're like trying too hard. That's what it is. And they're not. If they slowed down and got actually less lyrical, it would sound better for some of these people. Now, there's some people that can just fucking boom, they can just go off super fast. And I'm not like that. And I don't really listen to those type. Because it's almost like they're saying like, see what I can do? And it's like technical death metal bands. I don't really like them. I think it's just like a see what I can do, see how technical this is and stuff like that. So I'm going to play a song off of the Fake Gods album. And, yeah, check it out, man.
So, it has officially been decided. Double A on some I don't give a flying fuck shit. So go fossilize yourself, you stupid ass cunt, vagina, low butter pant, wearing too many head having motherfucking butternut ready.
I'm an evil apocalypse. I'll have you bleed through your esophagus. Incompetent obnoxiousness, you're just a coward talking shit, get off of it. I don't need your acknowledgement. My true spirit gleams in my accomplishments. I heard a lot of different lies from a lot of rappers. My natural flow is like a natural disaster, floating backwards while I'm sticking my veins, sacrificing animals cause I'm vicious on stage, splitting your brain. Your whole clique get the same. In my Civic I rip it a minute whenever I get in it. You dig it, it's cryptic, I live it, critical criminal bitches, spitting the ridges, strictly the sickest. I try to leave your ligaments split with minimal stitches, bitches. You got your swagger on, I got my dagger on, stag on, fire on, I'll blow up your entire arm. Double A the empty shell, all desires gone, acquired pawn in someone else's sick game, sipping mixed strength. Disable and kill, graves I'm able to fill. As an infant, I rested in a cradle of filth. Double A the dying fetus, doctors swore the fetus died till I rose from the dead and saw Jesus for this deicide. It's graphic violence when I stab your eyelids, box cutter jab the pilot of that defiant bloodbath of tyrants. Got Medusa in the sack grinding. This fucking gat says give me the facts or be silent. This world just ain't the same. I hate to blame the aches and pains of ways they take away our names, but A so hateful, gratefully maimed, erased. Remain loyal to my friends and my family, loyal to my woman. Are you faggots understanding me? A man of integrity, but I'm standing at the edge of me. Allegedly slash your neck and bleed. Eventually you will cease to be. Spitting lyrics ain't even Lucifer drafts. Sacrifice 2 calves for every moon that Jupiter has. Choosing a path, consuming the wrath of the soon-to-be past. Loosely crafted, loose leaf faggots who these crackers. I realize I'm expected to be rapping about slashing victims and grabbing bitches' asses, but I ain't asking for backstage passes to rap to the masses. I'm just scratching my brain for more ashes, and that's what the facts is. Crazy, attacking a fat kid, dry humping a giraffe shit. Yeah, that shit. Judgmental MCs can go suck on my sack shit. Disable and kill, graves I'm able to fill. As an infant, I rested in a cradle of filth. Double A the dying fetus, doctors swore the fetus died till I rose from the dead and saw Jesus for this deicide. It's graphic violence when I stab your eyelids, box cutter jab the pilot of that defiant bloodbath of tyrants. Got Medusa in the sack grinding. This fucking gat says give me the facts or be silent. I give your mic an eviction notice, sounds like a prediction. Don't keep your distance if you're on my hit list, bitch. This is my sickest moment. I don't really know what you're hoping. The acid I'm spitting is ripping you open. This is my atonement, and blood my clothes are soaking. Provoking hope by choking throats while smoking dope. Morose decomposing open. You can't shut my mouth, and I know you're too bitch to use your 2 fists to come to my house for a couple of rounds, cause you know I'm down to give you drown in a pound, bitch.
Double A on a cheap ass mic, habit art on a beat. What the fuck you gonna do about it, faggots?
Yeah. 2 A's will rip your face off. Battling doesn't pay off. Happily I will take off. So stay in your lane, boss, but you jaywalk, and that's why I was lady.
Fake gods.
And there you have it, man.
Down to rest.
Fake gods. Fake gods trying to tell me as if I need their approval. You know, as if I need their approval to feel good about my music, you know, and these people, excuse me, these people that were criticizing my music, they were more so criticizing me because I've done shows with them. And I'm gonna guess that I was more hardcore than those people and intimidating. So they wanted to do their little crying and say how they're better. They were more popular. They actually had followings. These people, they had fans and shit. So that's something there. But you should have seen the fans, though. You know, fucking losers, man. Doing. I know I'm sounding real negative right now, but there were those fucking. I don't know how to put it. The one dude, his lyrics were real accessible, if you know what I mean by that. Really accessible, not, almost like for me that'd be censored. But what I mean by that is he used terminology and stuff that's simple for people, your average person to get. I'm dropping fucking, like in that last song, I'm name dropping death metal bands and shit. Like I'm not accessible really when I did this music. Double A was not like super accessible, but I did what I did and I did a good job and it kicked ass. And I feel like that song I just played, the Fake God's actual song, exactly what those people were saying. That song was like a response to their criticism. And when I listened to the song, I actually have the issue they were talking about was more pronounced in that song. Like, I mean, the couple songs I played before, I was on point. But the one song that I was trying to tell them to mind your own fucking business and don't talk to me, don't talk about me unless you're standing in front of me. That's kind of the point of that song. But I did. There were some spots. Maybe I can only hear it because I did it and it bothers me. But there were parts where, like on the chorus, I felt like the hook. We call it a hook. I felt like maybe it could have been more on the beat. I feel like it was like slightly, and that's the shit that's in my head that I deal with listening to my own music. I don't know if you guys noticed that, then you're just being too critical. You're a bunch of assholes. So we got Fake Gods, which has a bunch of shit on it. It's got like infinite amount of songs. Like a lot of the shit that just never made it to an album and never found a home. And I basically scrounged it all up. Is scrounged the right word? I organized it all and found it because I just had songs in all different folders and shit all over the computer, and I didn't have them organized, and I didn't know how many there were. Once I started collecting them together, I'm like, dude, this fucking album's got like 24 songs, and it wasn't even planned to have an album. I was just trying to clean up all the fucking junk songs on my computer and trying kind of throwing them in a folder. And there was like a good 4 or 5 of those songs that I was trying to make into an album. I wasn't satisfied with the quality of the recording. Like the song I just played, the Fake God song, I wasn't too excited about the sound quality or there is a word for it. My one buddy used it for when you're rapping and you're on the beat and you're in the rhythm and the flow. Anyway, so that song kicked ass. Fake Gods fucking kicks ass. A badass song with a fucking badass attitude to it. And it's basically just like saying, I don't need to do things a certain way because you say so. I'm doing my shit. I'm doing my shit. I don't want your fucking fans. I don't sell shit anyways. It's all free. When it's all free, you don't care if you got fucking 2 fans or fucking 5,000 fans. You're not fucking asking for money anyway. Using an $80 USB mic for my entire hip hop career, the same fucking mic. Almost lost it once. I actually did lose it a couple times, and Skeet Rez Jimmy brought his over. Dead Man Walking, Fake Gods Waiting. So then I made one more album after Fake Gods, and to talk a little bit about my personal life. My life went to shit. My life just took a fucking shit right on me. Everything just fell apart. Fell apart. Broke up with my girl. There was a kid involved, and I thought of the kid as my own child, and it was like a whole bunch of shit you probably don't want to know because you probably don't care. This is supposed to be about the music, but the point is, a bunch of shit in my personal life happened. A lot more than I said, but I kind of fell apart. I kind of was holding on by a thread emotionally. I was emotionally exhausted from this whole mess, and there's like a lot of elements to it. And I was just falling to pieces, and I was trying to hold myself together. And I was in such a bad spot, like depression, anxiety, lots of anxiety. I didn't like I said it once, like I don't smoke cigarettes really. Like they're not. I don't get addicted to them like I see other people get addicted to them. I'll do like a cigarette here and there if I'm at a party. If I'm somewhere where there's a bunch of people and they're smoking cigarettes, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, give me one of those." But I didn't. But at this time, I was so depressed and anxious and nervous that I was smoking a pack a day. Pack a day. Fucking Camel Lights, I was smoking them. And it was just a horrible time, but sometimes the really horrible times in your life, eventually you see them as like the best times because it's like, oh, I learned that shit. Or, oh, I'm not afraid anymore because I went through something traumatic and I learned how to deal with it and how to view it and how to recover. And I learned that when stuff like this happens in the future, I don't have to be afraid and I don't have to go through all the shit that I went through the last time. Because I was mainly taking stabs at myself, obsessing over it, wouldn't think about other shit. People are like, come on, get out of the house, blah, 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 blah. And I just kept thinking and thinking and thinking about this shit. And it was like, it took me a long time to recover. And so I was buying weed off this dude at work. And his shit was so good that I could barely wake up the next day to get to work. His shit gave me those weed hangovers. If you know, guys even know what I'm talking about, when you wake up the next day and you're just not really there. You're like, ugh. And usually it happens to you when you're younger or when you don't smoke very often. But this guy's shit. Anyway, so I was late for work a couple times is my point. But this guy from work, man, he had a studio. in his basement. And he didn't live very far away, and he actually recorded a lot of rappers, local rappers and shit, and produced their shit. And he charged money. Oh my God. I've been saying this whole time, no money exchanged. And I was paying him $20 a song. Well, damn, I feel some kind of way now for saying all that. But I only did 4 songs. So there you go. But I did 4 songs where he was up at his crib because I was so depressed. It was supposed to be a full-length album. I had the ideas. I had the beats. I had like half of them anyway, the beats. And I had an idea of what I wanted to do. This was more well-rounded. It was less just talk. It was less like drugs and weapons and murder and sex and all kinds of fucking just like filth, you know, shit like that. And it was more, had feeling to it, obviously, because I was upset, man, at the time. And so I actually had some feeling to it, and it was fucking good, man. Like the best shit I ever did. And then I just stopped. And, you know, so that's how that was. And I wrote, like, the best song I think I ever did was on that album. And the song is actually about wanting to kill myself. And so that's weird. But it's like this, when I listen to it, I feel more pleasant than on the, cause just than the other songs when I listen to them because it's just so well made. And the funny thing is, though, right after I made that song, I started to feel better. It's like sometimes you just need to get things on paper or whatever you do and get it out of your head, man. And so because I was all depressed, my stomach had this burning feeling to it. Like it was in a knot all the time, smoking those fucking Camel cigarettes, you know, coughing up green shit, stomachs in a knot from anxiety and depression and that burning feeling. So I called this album The Burning. And that's why I called it that. Only had 4 songs. Well, I threw a 5th song on there that Cynical had sent me. And it had similar quality and it fit into the album nice. So there was a 5th track that I threw in there. And then the track Nightmares is the one I'm talking about, that I really thought was like my best song. And later on, I would get with a group called Wicked Seed, and we would redo that song with instruments. And so that was kind of cool. But I think I will play that one for you guys now. I've talked it up a bit. There was this girl. I contacted this girl. She was Asian, but she lived in an Asian country, though. I think Thailand. Yeah, she lived in Thailand, and she was on MySpace. MySpace was awesome. Facebook's fucking retarded. Fuck Facebook. MySpace was awesome. And so this girl was like fucking Thailand, and she was a vocalist, and she sang like a bird, man. I really liked her vocals. And she did like softer songs. I don't know how to describe them. Soft is a bad adjective to use for music because it just basically means you're a metalhead and you don't know how to describe other types of music. But she did some like folky shit, like a hipster would listen to, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. Like it was that type of shit. And then I sent her this track, this brutal track, and she murdered that hook, man. So she did the hook for this, and it was really good. It was really nice being in contact with her. And you know, it was advised. Monster, the fucking dude we wrote songs about, working in factories, blue collar songs. He kind of advised me to check her out because I was looking for a female vocalist to do the hook. So I'd have one of those rap songs, you know, the rap songs where there's a chick that sings the chorus. That's when you know you're a real rapper. And I wanted one of those. And that's so I did. I did one because I do what I want.
I'll stick my game up. I'm so in pain. The lost one stands. I'll make it to the rain. I'll still stop breathing. Nobody cares. How can I get this sweet one to me in nightmare?
Sometimes I wish I was dead in the dirt, cause I can't stop these thoughts in my head and it hurts. The burning in my guts as relentless as the headache. Ever since I graduated high school, I just been fed hate. I levitate, start praying to God, but he can't see past all the rage in my heart. So I stay in the dark, waiting to fade off. I've lived this long and ain't nothing ever paid off. Drink the pain away, fuck the pain away, sniff the pain away, the pain remains. My patience is done, feeling fake and numb. I wanna take a gun and blow the pain out my cranium. They keep telling me it'll be okay. I keep feeling like I don't have no say, and ain't nothing made me smile this whole day. Clouds swarm overhead, I live in a cold rain. In this world, I marvel at nothing. My eyes used to sparkle, now they just sting. Let me drop a verse before the beer runs out, cause it's only getting worse from here on out. A tear runs out when I open my eyes. I was happy as a child, now I'm hoping to die. I never cope with the lies. The world keeps telling me it should be a felony to rock this melody.
I'll stick my game up. I'm so in pain. The lost one stands. I'll make it to the rain. I'll still stop breathing. Nobody cares. How can I get this sweet one to me in nightmares?
Sometimes in this life of mine, I don't always find what I'd like to find. Just bite in time, no slice of the pie, but I got a tight rhyme. My mic's divine. I was thinking that I might jet, but let me get a mic check. 1, 2. I just might have some fight left. Might have to bite next to get through this. I might not invite death like Judas, but let's do this. I'm back in the game. Still, this depression's attacking my brain, cause the facts haven't changed. That back in the day I was caught in my world while you were passing away. What you must have been feeling, God only knows, but it must have been some real shit. I feel sick, I didn't answer the phone when you gave me a call when you were all alone. And now I'm walking home, feeling that same shit, that pain shit, that fuck up your brain shit, the rain shit, emptiness, lonely, complacent, darkness adjacent to the bass hits. Everybody sick in the head, getting wasted, wasting my time with y'all, I got no patience. I'm the sickest sadist on the day shift. I smiled in my grave on the day that I lay still.
I'll stick my game up. I'm so in pain. The lost one stands. I'll make it to the rain. I'll still stop breathing. Nobody cares. How can I get this sweet one to me in nightmares? I'll stick my game up. I'm so in pain. The lost one stands. I'll make it to the rain. I'll still stop breathing. Nobody cares. How can I get this sweet one to me in nightmares?
So there you have it. That's my favorite song I've ever done. I really liked T.A. T.A. is her name. Did the hook on that one. So it's like A.A. and T.A. That's how I would write my name a lot, just 2 capital A's. And then there were times in the beginning when I spelled it double dash A. And because I was like, they're not gonna know how to say it, you know. It's almost cheating just to have 2 capital A's. It's like other people have names, had to come up with these names, and I'm like, bleh, there's me. And it'll be the first thing you look up because it's A. But fucking fly in here. Kanga's sleeping over in the other room, by the way. You're not going to hear Kanga meow today. So, basically, that was it, man. I quit rapping at that point. I had other shit to take care of and tend to. My personal life kind of took over, you know. I had a lot on my plate. And it was one of those things where I completely fell apart and had to rebuild everything in my life and had to learn to mature a little bit. You know, I actually did. I got heavily back into, drug addiction and stuff. And then I'm like, this is the worst thing to do when you're upset because it's going to perpetuate the problem. Because when you get fucked up all the time, you tend to not deal with the problem, and so you think about it a lot and it stays with you. Whereas if you would have stayed sober, it would have hurt more, but you could have solved the problem a lot quicker. It's like a lot of weed smokers refuse to admit certain things. They just, I think they're in denial or something. And like some people, you know what I mean? Like I smoke weed and shit like people do, and it doesn't really affect their life. But I can't deny the fact that I don't get as much shit done. And I don't deal with as much of my personal, emotional style problems when I'm smoking. I don't dream either. I quit. I go long periods of time without it just to make sure my head's on straight. And as soon as you stop smoking, you have crazy fucking dreams. They're awesome dreams, to be honest with you. But it's like every night. And it's like a very, very vivid dream. That happens to me, anyways. And I actually like it. I like those dreams. I like dreams that's like you're in a video game. Shit, man. I used to try to do that astral projection shit. Keep a dream journal and everything. I was real into that for a while. And I did. I got to the point where a couple of times I became conscious in the dream and could control it. But it's like, and I would be floating. That's a constant theme. I'd be floating instead of walking. And in these dreams, once you realize, oh, I'm dreaming, and that takes months of practice, and you cannot smoke weed to try to do this shit. And you keep a journal and you write down, as soon as you wake up, you write down everything because you forget your dream within the first 5 minutes of waking up, but you keep this journal. And I did it. I did it. Fucking woke up in my dream and controlled the dream a couple of times. But if you get too excited, you wake up. And it's like very easy because that's a very hard thing to pull off. So it's very easy to get real excited, like, oh my God, this is cool. And then you wake up. So sticking to the music. We're going to stick to the music here. The personal falling apart into pieces depression story was just relevant to the music. So you know why Double A quit. And you know why he wrote a song, the previous song. Because I'm talking like double A is this other person. My name's Aaron, spelled with two A's, and I never had a nickname. And once I started doing this, all my friends and shit started calling me double A, and I just kind of go with it. And so, since I'm doing this, what I don't know what you want to call it. Since I started doing this, I went back to the double A, the alias, like a. So that's so here's what happened then. So I was done. I quit rapping. I quit the music. Um, did some other shit. Got my head on straight. And then I was back to going to the punk rock and hardcore shows and metal shows, a lot of local bands. I was getting into that shit again because that's my true love. And one of the issues I had with doing shows, because I did a ton of shows as double A, like lots of shows, which was nice because that meant to me that it was successful. But when you're a rapper and you go to do shows, it's a lot different. It's a lot different scene than like your punk rock, hardcore, and metal shit. Because when you're doing the punk, hardcore, metal shit, the people are down to earth, nice, you know, they're right on level with you. They just want you to grab their music, and they don't act like any kind of thing. When you go to a rap show, everyone that's performing is like the shit, the coolest person ever. Like they'll be like, I got laid 10 times today. You know how rappers are, and it was really irritating to do, to be around those people, because they were all Mr. Cool. All of them were, most of them anyway, were like that. And it was like, man, it's fucking poetry put to a beat. It really doesn't make you cool. It's fucking poetry, you know? So then, I don't know, man. I was just kind of staying to myself, staying in the house, being a hermit. I would go to those shows and shit, but I was bored one day, and I'm like, I want to make fucking music. Like, this was a while after this shit, and I'm on fucking Craigslist looking at music, vocalists wanted, shit like that, and I messaged this band, Wicked Seed, and I sent them a lot of my music that I had done in the past. And they're like, yeah, come out and jam with us. They were actually in Dover. They were located in Dover, which is weird. They're not attached in any way to anyone I know in Dover. But and we did that. So I started doing that. And it was pretty cool, man. Like there were two guitarists when I started doing that. And then there was Brian, guitarist, there was Sherry, bass guitar, and we did it at Sherry's house. And we went through lots of drummers, to be honest with you. But the second guitarist, he within a couple months of me practicing with them, and we had set up a show, by the way, at a local bar, nothing too exciting, but we set up our first show, and the guitarist overdosed and died, and that was Sherry's brother, the bass player's brother. And so the funeral was the exact date of our first show was supposed to be. And it was just, well, you can imagine, it was just not good. Not good at all. And Well, the cool thing was he wanted certain music played at his funeral. So it was literally playing like Cannibal Corpse and Misfits and stuff at the funeral. So that was cool. And I know he would have wanted it to be cool. And so all that happened, and then we kept going with just the one guitarist, because Sherry's like, well, we're gonna keep fucking doing this because that's what he would want. And I was like, yeah, all right, let's fucking go. Let's keep doing it. And so we moved past that, and then we kept going. And we had a number of drummers. They kind of came and went for whatever reason. And this was a totally different sounding band for me. It was like, these weren't metal heads. These guys weren't. I mean, in the way that I was, they were, yeah, like Metallica fans and stuff like that. But they were, the sound of the music was more grunge. And there was some I'm going to say soft songs again, but there were some songs that were like, I had to sing. All the music I've done, I've never sang. I've been vocal shit for all kinds of different types of shit. I never sang. And so this group gave me the opportunity to sing like some softer grunge songs, basically. And then I did throw some screaming and some growls in there, which I wouldn't have done. If I would do it again, I actually wouldn't do that because it sounds a little forced. Because deep down inside, I wanted to be doing something heavier, and so that's kind of what it was. It sounds a little forced, but I did this. We went to record at this place that was in Dover that sooner or later shut down because. I mean, it was just like the building was a little large for what I would assume the income would be. And so it was like that. But, we did a number of shows. We had a great time. They had a lot of cool friends, by the way. We went to parties. A lot of cool people. I met this dude that would push like quarter pounds of mushrooms. And I met all kinds of different people. And their age group, they were a little older than me. And so I met a bunch of people that were a little older than me and partied with them. And it was cool. Like I said, I really like to interact with different types of people from different backgrounds. For me, it's a good experience because every time someone like your own friends and shit, you all kind of like already think the same things and have like similar philosophies, or you at least understand each other already. But I like talking to people I don't quite understand and listening to what they have to say and how they think about things, and it's pretty cool. So Wicked Seed, we did a full-length album, and I'm going to play a track off of that for you guys. So this is like a return. I returned to rock music, and so here we go.
Know who you are and who you will be. I think of the past too much and now so you'll still be the way I feel to make it nobody kill me. But what happens next, I guess we all will see. It's everything you wanna incarnated in the past, only to end up dead last. All I had to do was try. All I had to do was ride. You better know who you are and who you will be. And they gotta pass too much of that, so you'll still be the way I feel. That they can nobody kill me, but what happens next, I guess we all will see. It's everything you wanna see. It's everything you want to be. Get on and ride. Get on and ride. It's everything you wanna see. It's everything you want to be. Get on and ride. Get on and ride. Everything you wanna see, everything you want to be. All you gotta do is try. All you gotta do is ride. Go.
Yeah, so that song was Ride. Ride by Wicked Seed. Yeah, so that was Ride. Ride by Wicked Seed. And see, I think I was with them guys for like 2 years. Yeah. Yeah, like 2 years. The one drummer Jay, man, like I really got along with that guy. He was like actually an extraordinary bass player is what he was. But he was just, like, fuck it, you guys need a drummer. And that guy was mad cool, man. Cranky. It wasn't so much cranky as just he ain't got the time to put up with no shit. And so most people he didn't really care for. He was just that type of dude. And I enjoyed hanging out with him, man. I would hang out with him outside of the band and shit. He was a cool dude. He was a pretty cool dude. And then he got cancer, and he got real bad, and he called me and told me to come visit him at the Motel 6. So during this time of getting cancer and all that shit, he got pissed at his girlfriend and moved out of the house. Said, fuck her. And basically, most anyone he knows, he didn't have no family. He told all his friends to fuck off. Cool dude, man. Really cool dude. Tells me to come up to Motel 6. I come up there. He's got his dog in the hotel. And he looks like really bad. He's in bad shape. And he gives me a big old block of silver. It was like 10 ounces, I think. And like $300 cash. And stuff like that. And I was like, oh shit, it's that bad, So, and he told me when I was there, he didn't want to see anyone else. He said everyone else is too fake that he knows, and he don't want to see them. He don't got enough time left to deal with that shit. That's kind of what he told me, man. Really cool dude. He used to be in a Red Hot Chili Pepper cover band. And he would do all kinds of weird shit, dress up, and he would wear 5-gallon buckets on it for shoes and do all kinds of fucked up shit back then. And he was friends with Sadistic Visions, which is a local Pennsylvania death metal band that kicks fucking ass. Sadistic Visions, man. Or Vision. Sadistic Vision. Vision. Yeah, well, whatever, man. And so that Wicked Seed broke up eventually, and I kind of, I kind of stayed to myself for a little, and then I went and worked with this dude, Billy Fingers. He could shred guitar pretty well. He could record pretty well, high quality recordings. He had the ear for it, or he knew what programs, and he knew all that shit. Could shred the guitar, and me and him started working on some stuff for a couple of months, and there's just two of us. So he was fucking around with like industrial electronic shit, and so we were kind of doing like an industrial group, mostly electronic with some guitars in the back. And we made like a couple of songs, but we wanted a band, man. And so we got a second guitarist, a bassist, and a drummer. And the drummer was one of the people that was a drummer for Wicked Seed. I just called him up and I'm like, hey. We went out to eat and we talked business. And I made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Hey man, come jam with us. And so that group was called Our Own Device. And we did a lot of practicing. We never did a show. We never really recorded anything, and I don't have any of the music on me or anywhere. So that was like a thing that, I just love doing music, and I don't care. I like the experience, I don't care what people say about it, or if it's up to someone else's standards or whatever the fuck. I like the creative part of it, the creation. After that, I'm out. Like, if someone else would have promoted the shit that I did throughout this time, maybe something would have happened. But I don't do that shit, man. I'm not a fucking vacuum salesman, I'm not fucking gonna walk up to people. You want to listen to my shit? Take 10 of them, hand them out. Hand them out to your friends. I don't fucking do that shit. Those people ain't even gonna fucking listen to it. So that's the issue really with me, is I love to create music, and all that, but as far as getting it out there, I'm not interested in that. That's actually stressful, and that type of shit actually makes me not want to make music. To think that I might have to try to market it, or to try to even give to my friends to listen. Well, I like giving it to my friends to listen to, like my real friends, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I mean. And so this band is a song that I did in this band that was completely this band. I mean, not Our Own Device. Our Own Device didn't really do a whole lot. It was just like a last stand for me. And after that, I was like, I'm kind of tired of doing music. I work a lot. I don't got time to be practicing. I kind of want my free time to myself again. And so after Our Own Device, I was kind of had it at that point, because I've been doing music off and on for a long time. None of it really became anything. Like the double A, the hip hop. That became something. You know, none of the rock bands really, or none of anything I did became anything. Like, no one knows who the fuck I am. But I don't know. I guess Our Own Device, I guess, just kind of was like an idea, and we practiced a lot. We did make a good number of songs, but they weren't really fully developed. And we never recorded. We never did anything. We kind of just broke up. I don't think everyone's heart was in it, type deal. But going back to Wicked Seed, there's a song they insisted, because when they were playing the music, I'm like, guys, I don't sing. Like, I would have to sing if I would go do something with that music. And they kept sneaking that in. We'd be practicing. They'd just start fiddling with the guitars and playing that tune. And it kept coming up. And eventually I was like, you know what? Fuck it. This will be a challenge for me. I've never done something like this kind of music. So I gave it a shot. And I sung. It's like shit. I'm gonna play it for you guys. Just because it's so different than anything else I've done. Now, we had done better versions of it, because this is kind of a shoddy recording. But I just kind of want you guys to see the diversity of sounds. I wanted me to see the diversity of sounds I could produce. So here it is, you know, and this song's called Home. And guys, that is pretty much my musical career. And it wasn't one episode, it took 2 episodes. And I realized that was going to happen. Because the double A thing had a lot to it. And I could have gone on for a lot more. There's a lot of fucking war stories from the double A shit. And there's a lot of songs. So I could have hit up a whole bunch of different... I could have played a whole shit ton of songs for that stuff. But I figured I'd pick some of the better ones and just calm it down. You guys want to hear the songs? You know, I can send them to you. I don't know how you're going to fucking reach me. But that's it, man. I went through my complete works, my whole folder of music. I played little bits here and there. VH1 Behind the Music with double A. Concluded, man. I've always wanted to do this, like a chronicling of the shit I've done. So yeah, I've strung like a whole bunch of like some of my preferred verses from my double A shit. I kind of chopped a bunch of them up so you could hear some of the real good verses. And all that. So I'm going to play that. And then after that, I'm going to end with a song called All Right. Me and my homie Jim Pressel did, and I think that's a good way to end the program. So right now I'm going to play a bunch of chopped up verses and then end with that song around.
Hey yo, we the swordsmen, trained to behead the beast. May the leaders of our world not rest in peace. Tear flesh from meat, effortlessly leave bodies of the Illuminati dead in the streets. Double A be the rawest, this side of the earth. Burning Bibles in church, bury rivals in dirt. Bitch 5-0's getting murked, the worst. Curse the turf, you learn. Berserk and burst in words like a 12 gauge. The media sells hate, I'll see ya in Hell's Gate. I'm an encyclopedia, read me your fail-safe. You don't believe me, I'll leave you screaming, repeatedly bleeding, seemingly dreaming, but post-shock pain increasingly creeping. Swords drawn, we all about the strike with the force of God. You all about the hype, man, we're more than y'all. We're hardcore than y'all. We ain't letting you get your foot in the door is all. Double A truly out of his mind. South of the line, my power's divine, and you're a coward that dies. My brain is like that of a notebook of poetry. I honor any cats that are down to throw it. We the swordsmen, trained to behead the beast. May the leaders of our world not rest in peace. Tear flesh from meat, effortlessly leave bodies of the Illuminati dead in the streets.
Deeply seedy weed is cheap, it needs to be green, and please treat your alcohol discreetly. No traces of fear, so many cases of beer, dictating a cheer in the room to be elevating, no fear. So sing along if you can, but there ain't no chorus, and I just unrip your tongue out with a pair of forceps. Skin poppers, deleted souls, be the special forces. Double A ain't full of horse shit, serrated blade stuck in your forehead, bitch. What the fuck? Ha!
I can feel a slut's guts when I make a pelvic thrust, cause my nuts to bust. But enough's enough and nobody I trust. I'll make it bleed to death for multiple knife cuts, cause life sucks. Michael Bay, he doesn't like us. Remaking us in a kill production will get you sliced up. Give me back my $9. Wes Craven says your wife's a tight fuck.
You wanna kill me?
I lust for the guts of a slut and the blood that erupts. Then I drip into cups to hit up the punch. Get it spiked up. Cop the powder, cook it up. Getting piped up. Fuck around if you stupid enough. Let them light up.
You've been raided, mutilated, fooled and raped and fumed.
gay, they're recuperating. You my Megan, you scream, you know I just tape it. While Ski Rez is in the corner making beats and mixing motions. Mainstream hip-hop artists just go through the motions. Pointless like modern-day Christians reading devotions. Bleeding oceans of slogans that are seemingly repeating to be hopeless. Broke kids are making dope shit and giving it out for free. Chopping beats to shreds like Jason Voorhees. So give me more speed, deleted soul speed. The killer assault turned God to a pillar of salt. I need to feed off my sinful dreams of sadistic, satanic, sexual violence, drugs, lyrics, and beats. It's a simple fact that these pills are triple stacked, causing more brain damage than a sickle in a bat. 1, 2, crazy and brain stew. Damn straight the veins you spit mud from will stain you. I drank 3 bottles of Robitussin and trip, cause I'm in love with the sick and busting on all your shit. I forgot my type of coat, so I'm going into seizures. Cause Boston cut your throat, now you're falling off the bleachers. I'm sacrificing preachers, your girl sporting my t-shirt. We both kick back to watch Cynic Kill's latest feature. Indie gore horror shit, deleted souls are all for it. Grab Ski Rez a picture of beer and start to pour it. Eat my fucking porridge and I'll put your corpse in storage. Might not like deleted souls, but you can't fucking ignore it. All you rap about is how cool you are, you damn bitch. A man is a man, and my man, you ain't shit. Like I give a fuck if you're insanely rich. I'll jab a marshmallow stick in your neck to change the pitch. So drop the beat and get out my fucking way. I let the AK spray when I'm out on the stage. It ain't horrorcore unless somebody gets murdered. Professional perverter, tell the cop I'm disturbed, sir. Sipping off some scissor, chopping out your gizzard. Buying motherfucking CDs and my fucking stickers. Heard a lot of different lies from a lot of rappers. My natural flow is like a natural disaster, floating backwards while I'm sticking my veins, sacrificing animals cause I'm vicious on stage, splitting your brain. Your whole clique get the same. In my Civic I rip it a minute whenever I get in it. You dig it, it's cryptic, I live it, critical criminal bitches. Spitting the ridges, strictly the sickest. I try to leave your ligaments split with minimal stitches, bitches. I ain't a pussy or a rookie, go and fuck yourself. Gangsta wannabe, sitting on a record shelf. Check yourself, I kick raps like electric kettle. Centric as hell, ABP deleted souls, the stories I tell. My words come like a limbo to the bottom when you're not looking. That's what I'm taking you out. You ain't thinking about road, I'm a being like cause I said so I can't let go, bitch. Where the fuck did your neck go? Psychedelic aftershock, I'm not getting paid. Got a cock like a cinder block, I'm shocked and amazed. Don't put stock in your ways, cause your crotches and shit. You're unaware of the wear and tear you got from this maze. Another charismatic Indiana dreaming through the static. It's intensity to see you fucking faggot or what have it. I don't care. You really wanna test me? I'll rip your fucking head off. I don't care. There is no up in this. You don't know who you fucking with. Suck a dick. You're more gay than when puppy spits. Lovely tits. Too bad you don't got a brain. I only come out in the night cause it's too bright in the day. Operate and give a C-section. Cause when you bleed I get an erection. I got no direction. I'll hang you from the ceiling with your own intestines. Yeah, it's all black, turned to ash, the backlash of a life led by a heathen. Got my internal organs bleeding, receiving no light. I dream of Jesus Christ bleeding at night. Pop your gut with a Phillips head, blood spilling red, power drilling your head. I'm killing the nurse, filling my meds. I hang with death like Bill and Ted. The blood won't cry, that keeps pouring on the floor in the kitchen. Stitching up the corpse as good as I can with double vision. Hitching a ride, blast the driver like a pigeon. Prescriptions of whatever the fuck. Eating pills on the northeast, wherever I'm stuck. I can't stop thinking these horrible things. Adorable brings me to a violent state when I'm a hate whatever steps in my way. Sin is my destiny. To escape this, shape this life, I ain't right. And nothing I can say will ever make this day right. Banished like Sam Hain, famished insane. It's a tight snare, understand this pain.
It's a nightmare in a damaged brain.
I'm a son of a bitch who run with the click, who run in the shit, bumping the split. Yo, who fucking with this? Yeah, I'm back on my grind with these habits of mine, never lacking a rhyme with a passion to climb. Classics defined in the back of my mind, I'm attacking the blind, happy to find some truth in this madness of mine. Packing the facts in a crack in the back of the path I was traveling, the fact is I'm fine.
in the day, I was sharp as a battle axe. Used to hustle backpacks full of snack packs, selling codes for Mortal Kombat. Now I sit back with a 6-pack, counting fat stacks. Can you feel me? I ran with the most dangerous clique. DHCB, dog man, he created this shit. Affiliated for life, dedicated to it. So I'm not wasting no time, man, I'm living in this for real, for real.
Ain't gonna waste no time. Ain't trying to nickel and dime. This time I'll get up and live my life. Stop moping around, it just might be alright. I'm looking at my yearbook, just sitting here, wondering what happened to my freaking hair. Super Mario Brothers filling my day. Sunshine in the summertime, man, I can't complain. Call my boy Shag up, trying to pick a bag up. All our efforts add up to a drag. A puff, a Pepsi, and a bag of chips. I felt plenty rich with a handful of penny sticks. Ain't gonna waste no time. Ain't trying to nickel and dime. This time I'll get up and live my life. Stop moping around, it just might be alright. Alright.